I was in junior high school, so it was a long time ago. Scanning equipment was not widely available back then. Ultrasound scanner, and if there were any abnormalities in the traits during pregnancy checkups, abortion would naturally be recommended. In the countryside, where I lived, I saw many strange-looking people. On the way to school from my house to junior high school, there was a ramshackle apartment building, surrounded by thickly growing trees. Apparently, it was a place where people of strange appearance lived. It was a rumor in junior high school, and I myself had seen many people going in and out of the building. There was an irrigation canal running along the side of the street. It was about 2 meters wide and had no cover or steps, so there was suddenly a 1-meter drop-off in the irrigation canal by the side of the road. To be honest, it was unpleasant to pass by that apartment building. But if we didn't go through the irrigation canal, we had to walk nearly 10 minutes longer to the junior high school. So we students had no choice but to take that road. It was the first rainy season when I started going to junior high school. It was raining that morning. Just as I was walking to the junior high school, on the road in front of the apartment, an old man with an umbrella came riding his bicycle from the other side of the street. He failed to go around a loose curve and fell off his bicycle into the irrigation canal. At that time, I was surrounded by many students who went to the same junior high school. One of them in a suit got stuck in the irrigation ditch and came crawling up. I thought, oh my god, there's going to be a lot of ridicule and taunts. But it seemed that we first-year students were the only ones making a fuss. The second and third-year students were obviously pretending not to notice. It didn't look like a common accident and was boring. Their mouths were tight. They didn't want anything to do with it, and they left quickly. We heard a small, shrill giggle mixed in with the laughter of us first-year students. It sounded like it was coming from the apartment across the canal. Our junior high school was a mammoth, with nearly 700 students per grade. With that many students, there were bound to be some very pretty girls. I was in the same class with a girl, who was reputed to be the number one girl in her grade. Let's call her Miss Anne. One day, about a week after the old man fell into the irrigation canal, I was walking home from school, along the road leading to the apartment building. Then, I heard the bell of a bicycle ringing. Cue me bye-bye. And Miss Anne, on her bicycle, passed me. She had a cute voice. While I was watching her, the bicycle suddenly started to meander. Then, as if it was shaking violently, the whole bicycle fell into the irrigation canal. I rushed to her and pulled her up from the canal. Miss Anne's eyes looked as if they were out of focus. When I asked her if she was all right, she mumbled something like, "I felt like it would be more fun if I fell off." The apartment was right next to ours. I thought I heard the deafening laughter again from behind the trees. I continued to walk that way. The time of leaving school varied, but at least once a month I saw someone fall into the irrigation canal. The location was usually next to the apartment building. Including the ones I didn't see, quite a few people must have fallen into the irrigation canal there. Miss Anne and I were in different classes in the second grade, but it seemed that she frequently fell into the irrigation canal. She would stop riding her bicycle and walk, or take the bus to school on the main street, opposite the irrigation canal. She sometimes went out of her way to fall into the irrigation canal. The lovely Miss Anne had lost all her weight, and looked gloomy. Whenever I went near her, I could smell the fishy odor of the irrigation canal. And no one paid any attention to Miss Anne, not even bullies. As expected, her parents were worried, and before her third year, Miss Anne transferred to a different school. The other day, I returned to the countryside for the first time in a long time, for a morning ceremony. The old town, where my parents' house was located, was completely deserted. I was having a cup of tea at an unfamiliar coffee shop, which must have been built while I was away from the countryside, when I suddenly looked out the window. Across the street, 3 people, apparently a father and son, were walking. The man was walking with a limp. The man was obviously a strange-looking person. The woman, who appeared to be his wife, was wearing an out-of-fashion sweater, but she was quite thin. In her lifeless profile, I saw a trace of Miss Anne. The child also had a strange appearance. I guessed he was about 10 years old, but I couldn't tell for sure. For a moment, I thought I saw the eyes of the child, with the melted face. I asked my local friends what had happened to Miss Anne and what had happened to the apartment, but they were all very tight-lipped. It was obvious that they wanted to forget about it. The apartment was destroyed by fire a long time ago, and the irrigation canal has since been covered with a concrete lid. No one knew what Miss Anne was doing now.